This is the new Mercedes AMG EQS53, and it's a little bit like these electricity pylons because it's packing loads of power and it makes funny noises. In fact, can you hear the noises from these pylons, the crackling? I hope I'm not going to get electric shock. I think they're induction charging my phone from even down here. I wonder if my brain's getting cooked. Anyway, in this video I'm going to talk you around the upgrades in terms of the exterior style and the interior design, and of course the chassis upgrades, the motor upgrades, the battery upgrades, and all that kind of stuff that you need to know about this car. I'm going to take it for a drive on a twisty road in town or on the motorway, and of course I'm going to do a brake test and launch it. See how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour, because I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Carwow. And if you like these videos, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on. That way you won't miss a single upload.
Buying a new car? Then head to Carwow and my team will help you find your next car at a fair price. Carwow, your one-stop car buying comparison site.
Let's start this video by talking about the main upgrades that you get for this AMG version of the EQS. So what AMG have done is taken the two electric motors and they've changed the winding inside the motors and also improved the inverter and fitted an upgraded cooling system. They've also altered the batteries, so you get the same 108 kilowatt hour battery pack, but it can now discharge quicker, which means more performance. As a result, you get 658 horsepower, which is 140 horsepower more than in the normal EQS 580. You've also got 950 newton meters of torque. Also, 0 to 60 takes 3.8 seconds. But if that's not quick enough for you, you can pay AMG some more money, and then you fit the Dynamic Plus pack to the car. When you do that, power goes up to 761 horsepower and 1020 newton meters of torque, and 0 to 60 drops to 3.4 seconds. But what will it do in reality? Well, we're going to find out a bit later on in this video, because I'm going to launch it, of course. Now, this AMG version of the EQS isn't cheap. It starts from around £155,000. So if you're thinking about buying this, or any new car for that matter, you need to click on the pop-out banner up there, follow the link in the description to go to Carwow. Make sure you're paying a fair price. Also, if you're buying a new car, you're probably going to have to sell your old car, and you can now do that through Carwow as well. What you have to do is upload some photos, give a brief description, and our dealers will bid on your car to make sure you get a great price for it. And then when you decide which dealer to sell it to, they'll come and pick it up from your house, give you the cash, well, into your bank account, and then take the car away. It's so simple. Now, if you want to do that at a later date, simply Google "Help Me Carwow" and me and my team will sort you out. If you're going to upgrade a car's performance, you need to seriously upgrade its brakes as well. Yes, Tesla, I'm talking to you. Anyway, AMG haven't forgotten to do that, because this car is fitted with some massive brakes. So as standard, you get 415mm discs up front, gripped by 6-piston calipers, whereas at the rear you get 378mm discs gripped by a single piston caliper. But you can upgrade to these lovely carbon ceramic brakes, and then your disc size at the front is 440mm. Now, AMG have worked really hard on these brakes to make them feel as natural as possible, and they also combine recuperation braking as well as normal friction braking. Shall we see how good these brakes are? I think it's time for a brake test. Okay, now I'm going to do a brake test from 60 miles an hour. Let's see how long it takes this car to stop. Oh, what did we get? What did we get? Whoa! It stopped from 60 miles an hour in 32 meters. That is really good, considering how heavy this thing is. In fact, it's better than another performance car. Do you want to see what that performance car is? Click on the pop-out banner up there, follow the link in the description below to find out. AMG has made a load of chassis upgrades to their version of the EQS. One of them has some bespoke settings for the rear wheel steering. So, on this particular car, the back wheels can turn up to 9 degrees, and when you're going below 37 miles an hour, they'll turn in the opposite direction to the front wheels for better low-speed manoeuvrability. Then when you're going above 37 miles an hour, they'll turn in the same direction as the front wheels for improved high-speed stability. AMG has upgraded the air suspension and adaptive dampers over the standard EQS for a better blend of sportiness and comfort. AMG has also enhanced the car's four-wheel drive system, so the torque from the motor on the front and the motor on the rear are checked 10,000 times a second, so that power is sent immediately to where it's needed most. Also, when you're in Sport or Sport Plus mode, it has a rear drive bias. AMG has also fitted stiffer rear subframes and motor mounts to make the car feel more responsive. But does this all translate to a better drive out on the road? Let's find out. Okay, let's see what this AMG EQS is like when you want to do some sporty driving, y'all. So I'm going to turn this dial, put it in Sports Plus mode, so we get the silly noise. And we also get stiffened suspension, more aggressive throttle response, and weightier steering. So let's go for it. Oh. Yeah, cannot deny that it's got the performance, right? 4-wheel drive, launches out of turns with an instant response from the 2 electric motors. What I'm also going to do is put it into coast mode, so when I lift off the accelerator now, there's no regen effect, it'll just coast. Now you want that when you're going quickly, because sometimes you want to just roll through a corner rather than be accelerating or braking, which can upset the car's balance. And you need to watch the balance on this car because it weighs 2.7 tons. Though the suspension is in Sports Plus, still deals with the bumps really well, yet it stops it leaning too much in the bends. Now it'd be interesting to try this on some real tight switchback hairpins, because I think then you'd start to notice that weight and it would struggle. But here, sweeping roads, yeah, AMG's done a good job. They really have transformed this EQS, which is normally just a big luxury cruiser, and now it definitely feels sporty. Yeah. There is one last thing I want to do, and that's to test the brakes. Imagine that I'm out on a track, I need to brake hard into a corner, so whoa. Do you know what? I think they've done a really good job on the brake pedal feel. Sometimes in electric cars, when you're transitioning from regen braking to friction braking, can feel a bit odd, but this is nicely done. Well done, AMG engineers. I think they've done a really good job with this car. It's noticeably more sporty than the luxury cruisy EQS on which it's based. Now, it's not sports car-like in the same way as a Porsche Taycan. In fact, if you want to see my full-in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there. It's still a good job. It's definitely in keeping with the AMG spirit. There is just one thing I'm missing. Well, this sound is quite interesting. It's not as good as an AMG V8, is it? And you know, there's something about when you're thrashing an AMG car, just working your way through the gears, you can't do that here. Things change, they just do. You have to accept it. And one thing I can definitely accept about electric cars is the response you get when you put your foot down, because that is always good fun. You're never going to get bored of that. Now let's talk through the design upgrades that you get on this AMG version of the EQS. So you get the AMG badge and a more pronounced boot lip spoiler. This being an American car, we've got the silly additions to the bumper. They look horrible. Moving down the side, wheel sizes start at 21 inches. These are the upgraded 22s. Oh, they're lovely. This AMG car also gets like a little side skirt there, makes it a little bit more sporty. Then at the front, of course, you have the AMG slatted grille with the AMG logo on it there. And being an American car, we have no front number plate. Yay, some you win, some you lose. Now, which would you rather have? Would you rather have no front number plate and that stupid extra bit on the bumper, or would you rather have a front number plate and no silly bumper bit at the back? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, by the way, I think this car does look pretty good, better than the normal EQS, though still, it's not the best looking car, is it? In fact, if you want an electric car that looks better than this and is even quicker, click on the pop-out banner up there for the link in the description below to find out exactly which I think is the best large high-performance electric car. Go check it out. Here on the inside, upgrades include this sporty material on the dash, and here on the center console, and here on the armrest. It's got this lovely red stitching as well. You get Alcantara E material here as well with some silver stitching. Plus, look, this car's got carbon fiber inlays here. You've also got AMG sport seats with AMG logo embossed onto the headrest, AMG sports steering wheel. These dials for choosing your different driving modes, and you can choose different settings individually using this dial over here. You've got aluminium steering wheel mounted paddles, which feel expensive. You've got aluminium pedals here as well. You've got AMG on the floor mats, AMG on the sills. You've also got AMG specific dials for the main driver's display and for the heads-up display. You get, as standard, the lovely hyper screen as well with some AMG specific information there for you. Oh, lovely. And when you turn the car on, it makes an AMG specific noise. Here goes. Here in the back, the AMG loveliness continues with the extension of the trims from the front. You get AMG floor mats back here as well, and sportier seats than the standard EQS. Other than that though, it's the same car really. Look, loads of knee room, decent headroom. Yeah, it's comfy back here. The boot capacity is exactly the same as the normal EQS. It's 610 litres. Actually, don't look at that. It's got all our filming equipment in. Because we're here in California, you've got nowhere else to store it. I suppose we could have stored some stuff under the front boot, but unfortunately the EQS and this AMG version don't have any front storage. And that brings on to 5 annoying things about this car. While the claimed range of this car at 360 miles is fairly decent, it's a bit annoying that it's 60 miles less than the EQS 580. Now, when you move from the Tesla Model S, the Plaid, even though you've got a shed load more performance, you only actually reduce the range by 9 miles. Why is it so much more reduced on this AMG version of the EQS? Huh? I want to know who the heck was responsible for sub-editing this particular menu. It says engine there. As far as I'm aware, Electric cars don't have engines, they have motors. That brings on to the point of, isn't AMG supposed to be synonymous with one person, one engine? What's going to happen to all those people who made engines? I hope they're being retrained. And will you get your motors signed after they've wound them for you? This AMG version of the EQS has a top speed of 137 miles an hour, which is only 7 miles an hour more than the normal EQS580. Still, if you upgrade to the Dynamic Plus pack, you get a top speed of 155 miles an hour, which is quite a lot less than a Tesla Model S Plaid, which can do 200 miles an hour. The integrated headrests of the AMG sport seats do block your view forward if you're sat in the back. Even though it's supposed to be the sporty model, this AMG version of the EQS is 70 kilos heavier than the standard dual motor car. It weighs in at 2,655 kilos. You fat b****.
Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this.
With the AMG Track Pace app, you can do things like measure your drag race time, so you're 0 to 60 and you're standing quarter miles. There's also telemetry, so you can see how much you're using the brake pedal or the accelerator pedal. There's also Track Race, which allows you to time yourself around various different tracks. Look, there's loads listed here, such as Spa. As with other AMG vehicles, you get a launch control mode. However, it works slightly differently because there's no engine or gearbox. What it actually does is prime the electric motors to deliver maximum power right from the get-go. AMG has composed some sounds for this car, and you can play them both on the outside and on the inside. So this is the standard sound for this AMG EQS when you accelerate. However, if you have the Dynamic Plus package upgrade, then you get a special performance sound, which is the same but more. Have a listen. Of course, if that does your head in, you can just turn it off, so it just is like a normal electric car when you accelerate. That's better, isn't it, really? But still, you have the option, don't you? Unlike with the normal Mercedes EQS, in this AMG version, you can put the stability control into a sport mode or press and hold this button to make it go off completely. Oh, it's gone red. Danger, danger, red. And like with every other AMG I've ever driven, there's no waiting around for the engine to warm up before you can enjoy its full performance. You can get in this thing first thing in the morning, cold as you like, and then just floor it. Let's see what this EQS is like to drive round town. See if they've gone and knackered the comfort that you get from the normal EQS by turning it into an AMG model. So here's a speed hump. Let's see how it copes with that. Very, very well. Do you know what? This is still super chilled. The air suspension is brilliant in this. You would not know it was the AMG, apart from this steering wheel that you're holding onto. And obviously, you know, you can have it noisy, so that when you're accelerating and braking, you get an AMG experience, but I'd turn that off and just have it quiet. What I will do is have the regen mode in maximum so that I can one pedal drive this thing. So I lift off the accelerator and it will stop completely. And that just makes it really easy to drive around town, as does the rear wheel steering. It just makes it more maneuverable. It really is a relaxing car to drive. It feels less AMG than other AMGs for just pottering around, which in some ways is a good thing. One thing about AMG cars is that they're designed to do everything, aren't they? So it needs to be good as a long distance cruiser. I've got the car set up in its comfiest setting, and it's just great for just wafting down long, straight, boring roads. Yeah, it's very, very quiet in here. The suspension just deals with undulations so well. The seats are comfy. You almost wouldn't know that it's a sporty model. The air suspension is fabulous. This car's fitted with the upgraded cruise control, so you can brake and accelerate, keep your safe distance from the car in front and steer to keep you in lane, which is brilliant when you do lots and lots of motorway miles. I recommend you get that system fitted. Really, it should be standard, but it's not. When I'm driving on the motorway, I like to have the recuperation in the mid setting, so when I lift off the accelerator, it does slow me down, but not too abruptly. Also, if you need to overtake someone, this electric power, it's just so easy to find gaps in traffic. You can just nip past other cars. So here's a very little gap in traffic. Overtaking time, dispatched so effortlessly. Yeah, I like the pickup on this thing. Okay, let's see how quick this AMG EQS is from 0 to 60 miles an hour. So this is the one fitted with the Performance Plus pack. So we've got the full 761 horsepower. It's supposed to do 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, but I'm going to find out now with my specialist timing gear. We're in the sportiest setup. Left foot on the brake, floor the throttle. Oh yeah, thrustage, 0 to 60, 3.16 seconds. Woo! Woo! Well, it does the numbers and it squeezes you in very tight like that. Now, if you want to see an electric car that can accelerate even quicker, click on the pop-out banner up there. I'll follow the link in the description below to see my review of said electric car. So then, what's my final verdict on the AMG EQS53? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist this EQS because, you know, it's not the sportiest of sporty electric cars, but it does still have a definite AMG vibe going on. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you click on those windows there, you can watch some more videos. And if you click on that box there, you can go to Carwow to see how much money you can save on your next car.